What you're about to see is a real-life story, taken from the files of the police racket and bunko squads, business protective associations, and similar sources all over the country. It is intended to expose the confidence game, the carefully worked-out frauds by which confidence men take more money each year from the American public than all the bank robbers and thugs with their violence.
Captain Braddock. Captain Braddock. Ready.
Now, the story behind the case I'm going to tell you about tonight is particularly interesting because it shows the great resourcefulness with which some confidence men are endowed. Here are the principals in our case. Names: Jim Knight and Bob McKay. These men were recently convicted of a widely publicized oil stock swindle.
The right front man, that's all we need. We put everything into his name. He signs all papers and checks. And when we sell all the stock that we can possibly unload, we get him to turn the money over to us. And if anything goes wrong, why, he holds the bag.
Sure, but we could starve to death before we find the right man.
Oh, we'll find him. And this time we'll make enough to keep us in style for good. Trust me?
For 1 week. Then I go back to Kokomo to take that job in my brother-in-law's feed store.
I beg your pardon, gentlemen. You could use a fine violin player here. Very fine.
Here? Are you kidding?
Just in exchange for some food, maybe.
Try the bijou down the street. Sorry, we're a cash house. No cash, no hash.
I'm not winding up like that, brother.
Just a minute, friend. Come here.
Me?
Yes, come here. Sit down. What's your name, friend?
Boris Muravchik. Muravchik.
Russian?
White Russian.
Are you hungry?
Just a little.
Well, why don't you have dinner with us?
Oh, you are so kind.
Mac, another dinner, the works,
In America, it's just like a herd. Kindness, helping people. It's beautiful.
Well, tell us something about yourself, Boris.
What's to tell? I am, as you call, refugee. I work all over Europe, save some money, come to America to see my brother Vasil Muravchik. Same name like mine. He's my brother. That's all.
Boris, how would you like to walk into your brother's house, a rich man? I mean really rich, a millionaire.
You don't mean this?
In America, fortunes like this are made overnight.
In America, yes. Boris, no.
Look, we're a couple of very big oil men. Oh, I am Jim Knight, and this is my partner, Bob McKay.
Well, I'm very glad to know your acquaintance, gentlemen.
Yes, we're about to start a new company, a big tract in Texas. But we have a problem. Whenever word gets out that we're behind the company, up go the prices.
Up go the prices.
The drillers charge us more because they know we always strike oil. Everybody charges us more, you see?
This is not nice.
No, it's terrible. But if you will come in with us...
A gentleman. I don't know the oil business from the vodka business. I'm a violin player.
Yes, but you don't have to know. Leave that to us. Now, you will be the president of the company, and we'll be your silent partners. You see what I mean?
I, Boris Muravchik, president?
And you'll be able to walk into your brother's house a millionaire. How would that be?
I do not have to invest any money. Nothing.
Not a cent. Well, what do you say?
What do I say? I say, I want to be president, naturally. I have heard the streets are paved in America with gold. But I didn't really believe it. But now, maybe it's true.
Jake, partner.
Jim.
Oh, excuse us a minute, partner.
Of course.
Look, are you out of your mind?
This character is just what the doctor ordered.
I'm a fool not to head back for Kokomo, but...
And so the newly created company, Crown Imperial Petroleum Enterprises Incorporated, took office space. Money to pay the rent? Knight and McKay were sure by the time the end of the first month rolled around, they'd have more than enough.
Crown Imperial Petroleum Enterprises have a home.
Wait till you see it fixed up. It'll reek of class. You'll have a great big desk right here, Boris.
They're so expensive.
Oh, think nothing of it. Now, let's see, we'll need some furniture, some stationery. Oh, some nice clothes for you.
Yes. Say, has that draft come down from our bank in New York yet?
Not yet. That does leave us a little short.
Oh, do you need some money?
Oh,
I could lend you. I didn't save very much, but would $1,000 be all right?
Willie.
Well, Boris's savings went as far as Knight and McKay could stretch it.
Sit down, Boris. See how it feels to be a big American executive.
I do not look like, as you call, the big American executive.
You will, as soon as we get the right clothes. The tailor should be here any minute now.
Huh? The tailor is coming here?
Sure. No big American executive ever goes to the tailor. The tailor comes to him.
The tailor is coming here to me? Who could dream of it? Me, Boris Moravchik.
Oh, no, it'll never do.
Oh, you don't think that I can look like the big American executive?
You're okay. It's that name, Boris
Moravchik. Moravchik.
Sounds as if somebody should say Gesundheit.
Moravchik, Gesundheit. Moravchik, Gesundheit.
Oh, now we've got to get a name for him. Now, that's something with class. How's this? Nicholas Vladimir Samoylov. Nicholas Vladimir Samoylov.
That's good.
One suggestion.
Huh?
Colonel Nicholas Vladimir Samoylov.
Not bad.
Colonel Nicholas Vladimir Samoylov. At your service, gentlemen.
Boy, Nicky, you're great.
You like?
We like, yes. Now, we've worked out your background. You want to hear?
Of course I want to hear.
Well, you were a colonel in World War I, the Tsar's army.
Wait. You may proceed ahead.
Well, you were in complete charge of the Russian government's oil supply. You know everything there is to know about oil.
I do. I'm a violin player.
Will you forget about the violin for just a little while? Now, the Tsar sent you to Mexico, see? Your mission was to combat German propaganda. Okay?
Okay.
And while you were there, you met this American, big Texas rancher, and saved his life.
Saved his life. That was very courageous of me.
Well, in a stampede or something. Anyhow, after the revolution, you went home. Well, naturally, you joined up with the aristocrats, the White Army, a colonel. And what happened? Captured by the Bolsheviks.
Did they hang me?
You escaped, you jerk.
Okay. Then what?
Then you came to America.
Where I met you, gentlemen. The most happiest moment of my life.
Stop interrupting, Nicky. You came to America and lit out to find your rancher friend in Texas. And while you were on the ranch, what did you see? All over the place, oil seepages.
Oil buttages?
Seepages, oil everywhere. So you got your rancher friend to let you drill a well.
And he can't refuse because you saved his life, see? Now, you understand all this, Nicky? Who you are and...
Of course I understand. What do you think I am? A dope?
But what about this rancher? We'll need somebody to back up the story.
Oh, that's your job. You find somebody for, well, a percentage of the deal. Get somebody on a track that hasn't been registered so that we can sign the lease in Nicky's name, right?
Right. Well, you're sure you got all that?
There's only one thing. You tell me I shall sell the shares of stock. I'm no good salesman. Lemon I couldn't sell to the Russian tea room.
Nicky, you don't have to sell anything. We write letters to the public telling them all about you. You know oil, but you're broke after what you've been through.
You need help, see? But you're willing to share your good fortune with anyone who will buy stock. Let them get rich, too.
This I like. This is very unselfish of me.
And all you have to do is sign your name. You can write, can't you? You can write Colonel Nicholas Vladimir Samoylov.
For $1 million, I can write not only Colonel Nicholas Vladimir Samoylov, but Jenkler hat gegangen, fahren sich auf eine Ziegele.
Bob McKay was out making a deal with the landowner who would back up the phony story that he and Jim Knight had by now polished to the point of complete acceptability, to the point where all three believed it themselves. Boris, alias Colonel Nicholas Vladimir Samolyov, posed for a photograph in a rented costume complete with decorations and the glittering star of St. Stanislaus and St. Anne. Within the week, the first sucker letter went out, on stationery bearing the royal crest of the family Samolyov, along with a copy of the prospectus that told the thrilling and colorful story of the one-time chief of Imperial Russia's crude oil supply. By now, Boris had been caught up in the swift-flowing tide of his new and glamorous occupation. He was no longer the dazed, timid man who had walked so uncertainly into the Worth Cafe offering to fiddle in exchange for some food. Completely taken in by Knight and McKay, and dazzled by what they told him were modern American business methods, Boris accepted his new station in life with obvious relish, his eye on the wealth that he was so sure would come.
Well, what about it, Boris? You've got a couple of hundred more of these to get out tonight.
Please, don't rush me. The imperial fingers, they have to be treated with respect.
Follow-up letters went out. Subscriptions poured in. And just to keep things nice and legal, they started drilling an oil well. More letters kept the subscribers informed of its progress down into the earth. Earth that only Knight and McKay knew was as dry as the surface of the sun-baked Sahara.
And the well is coming along fine, just as it says in the letters?
That's right, Nicky, just like it says in the letters.
Pretty soon we will strike the oil, eh?
That's right, just like it says in the letter.
Pretty soon we will be at the Woodbine Sand, huh?
About 3,400 feet. We're at 2,800 now. Just like it says...
Wait a minute. How do you know about the Woodbine Sand?
Oh, I'm learning with great quickness, gentlemen. Learning, finding out all about the little tricks.
You know all the little tricks?
Oh, sure. I'm learning everything from what it says in the letters.
Hey, what's the matter with you, Bob? You've been acting like a regular crepe hanger these last few weeks.
It's Nicky. I'm worried about him.
Do you think he's getting wise?
I don't know, but where's he been going every night and coming in at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah. We better put a check on the colonel. That's what's been bothering me, too.
Wonderful, Boris, wonderful. Isn't this playing everything I said it would be?
Now I understand why Mr. Garrett spends so much of his time here.
Oh, you're so kind, I thank you.
Boris, I want you to meet Miss Elise Townsend.
I'm obliged to meet you, Miss Townsend.
Pleased to know you.
Sit down, Boris. Have a drink with us.
Thank you, but it is quitting time. I must go home.
Oh, well, here's my card. Call me at my home sometime. We played duets together. I play violin, too.
You violin? Oh, that will give me great pleasure, Mr. Garrett. Thank you, Mr. Garrett. Thank you, sir. And the kind lady.
Hey, Mr. Boris, I didn't get his last name, sir. He said he had an appointment with you.
I'm expecting him. Show him in, Jeanette.
Yes, sir.
Boris, good to see you. Where's your violin?
Good evening, Mr. Garrett, sir. I did not feel in the mood to play the violin tonight. I have come for some advice.
Why, any time. Let's have a few drinks while we talk. Sit down, my friend. I like men with music in their souls. And I like you, Boris.
Thank you, Mr. Garrett, sir.
If there's anything I can do to help, you know I'd be happy. What's on your mind, my friend?
Tell me, Mr. Garrett, is it wrong for a big oil company executive to play the violin?
Well, I'm an oil company executive. A big one, too, if I may say so. I play the violin.
I mean, like in Club Strasdice.
I don't quite understand.
Well, I am oil company executive, and my two silent partners make big noise when I tell them that I play in club. Is not, as you call, dignified.
Wait a minute. You're an oil company executive, too?
Yes, a big oil executive. My two partners are Jim Knight and Bob McKay, and they say...
Knight and McKay?
Correct. Oh, you don't believe me? Here is my picture. Beautiful, eh?
But it says your name is Colonel Samoylov.
Yeah, for business purposes. This is American way, my partners tell me.
Drilling in Ramsey County.
It's a wonderful oil country, eh?
Boris, I've done quite a bit of drilling in Ramsey County. As a matter of fact, I offset your track to the east. All I got was dry holes.
Dry holes? What is this, dry holes?
No oil.
Oh, no, that cannot be. My partners tell me there is much oil. They tell it to everybody they're sending the letters to. I signed them myself.
What else did you sign?
No, everything. Everything is in my name. The lease from the office, the bank account where I put all the money the people are sending in for buying the shares, and... Anything wrong, Mr. Garrett?
You mean you don't know that this scheme is crooked? That Knight and McKay are a pair of swindlers?
No. That cannot be.
I'm afraid it is. Knight and McKay are very well known to the police. That's why they put everything in your name. When all the money's in, they make you turn it over to them. If there's any trouble, they're in the clear. No connection with the company.
They arrest me?
And you could spend a nice long term in jail.
Oh, Mr. Garrett, I did not intend to steal the money away from the stockholders. You must help me, please.
Oh, Boris, you've been a chump. A prize chump.
But I am new in this country. I believed what they said.
And that's why I'm going to try to help you.
You are a wonderful man. You will keep me from going to jail?
I don't know. I've got to think of an angle. Can you get your hands on copies of the leases, a log on the well they're drilling?
Yes, yes.
Bring them to my office. Copies of all the letters, company books, everything. You understand?
Everything. I bring you everything. This I promise you.
I've done quite a lot of work for you, Boris. I've consulted with my attorneys and gone over the technical end with my geological department.
Your geophysical department?
The men who know best where to look for the oil.
Ah.
As a matter of fact, I've already sent my top geologist down to the property. So you'll have to sign this right away. But it's an authorization. It gives me complete charge of the well.
The mail campaign kept clicking at its usual rate. A tide of money for shares flowing in from the suckers. People who had put their trust in the name of Colonel Nicholas Vladimir Samoylov. Boris had never seen so much money in his life, and he never dreamed that the sight of it would make him feel this way. Like a sneak thief who had picked the pockets of the poor.
Hello? Oh, Mr. Garrett. Yes, yes, I am alone. No, I didn't tell anybody. Did you hear something about the well? You did? Oh, I'm afraid to ask. Yes, I'll be right over. Oil? You mean they really struck oil? There couldn't be any mistake. Maybe like tar or blackberry jam?
Oh, my geologist was just as surprised as you are. Me too. Oh, that's the fun of being in this business. Nobody really knows where there's oil. What's the matter?
Something is wrong, Mr. Garrett. My partners, they should drop dead. These bums will be rich. Those crooks have stocks in the company, and I, an honest man, have not.
I can tell that by the company records. I have a little plan. Miss Hughes, get me Captain Braddock, will you, please?
You are calling in the army?
No, police captain, RACKET SQUAD. He's a friend of mine. Now you just sit there, and I'll tell you what to do after I talk to Braddock. Captain Braddock? Courtney Garrett speaking.
Oh, the way this sloppy jerk handles money. Look at this.
Well, so he isn't neat, huh?
Gentlemen, good afternoon.
And where have you been?
Lunch, pierogi, something delicious.
At the Ritz, I suppose.
Ritz Schmitz. I found a nice little Russian place, a diamond. This is my office. Colonel Samoylov speaking. Yes, naturally, I shall be delighted to tell you all about my oil well. Fine, I will be here with the utmost of pleasure to see you, sir. Goodbye.
Who was that?
A gentleman who wants to see me about my oil well.
Oh?
Captain Braddock from the, how do you call, RACKET SQUAD. Anything wrong, gentlemen?
Oh, no. I just remembered we have to go on a little trip. How much have we in the bank, Boris? Look at it.
$90,000.
Write us a check for it.
So much money for a little trip? I'll give you $30,000.
What about me?
To you, I give $30,000 too.
And the rest?
Is for Boris. I'm your partner, no?
Now, there's no time to argue now, Jim. We've got to go on that business trip. We'll take it. Let's have the checks.
Don't rush His Royal Majesty. First, you have to sign this, and I'll make out the checks. You're selling to me your shares in the company for which I am paying you beautiful money.
Oh, come on, Sandra. What's the difference anyway? It's stock in a dry hole, isn't it?
Now, let's have the money fast.
Here, gentlemen, have a good time. Come in.
Colonel Samoylov, I'm sorry to break in on you like this, but I have the papers ready. We'll just sign this and the deal will be closed.
Oh, my very good friend, you'd fill me up till here with happiness.
Who are you?
I'm buying the Colonel's oil well. You know, that dry hole in Ramsey County?
Is he crazy?
Hey, wait a minute. Aren't you...
Courtney Garrett, President Argonaut Oil. And I don't buy dry holes.
Oh, I did forget to tell you. I'm so sorry, gentlemen, but the well has found the oil.
Oceans of it. Thank you, Colonel. There's my check for advanced royalties.
It's for $1 million.
More where that came from?
Now, look here, Mr. Garrett. We own that well. We picked this dope up off the street, put everything in his name to take the paperwork off our hands.
Yeah, and now he's trying to swindle us out of it, but you won't do it. Either of you.
Hear that?
So, you think you heard everything you wanted to hear, Captain Braddock?
Should sound very convincing in court. Open and shut case.
We'll deny it.
Every word of it.
When the confessions are in your own voice? All right, show them, Dan. I guess you can make use of these recordings too, eh, Jim?
Very good use. Post Office Department has been after these monkeys for a long time.
All right, take them downtown.
Just a minute, Captain. Boris gave these men checks for $30,000 apiece. It was part of our plan. I thought I'd just remind you.
Captain Braddock, let them keep the checks. These men, after all, were my friends, my partners. They made me a rich man. Let them keep the checks, huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. You see, the law doesn't allow thieves to benefit from their crimes in any way.
They will not benefit. This I guarantee you.
Oh, Boris, you don't seem to understand. If you gave them signed checks...
Signed Boris Moravchik, who does not even owe a bank account.
All right, Dan. Well, Knight and McKay were put away for a long time, and Boris's story was fully investigated. He got off with a lecture on American business methods and the use of the mails to defraud. About the only time I can remember anyone going free on a charge of even attempted swindling. So don't let fast-talking confidence men involve you in any of their fast money deals. If they want your services or the use of your name, make sure who they are. If they want you to invest money, investigate their proposition first. Be careful. Something like what you've just seen can happen to you. I'm closing this case now, or rather the courts will. But there'll be others, because that's the way the world is built. Remember, there are people who can slap you on the back with one hand and pick your pocket with the other. And it could happen to you.